Princess Peppa. It is bedtime for Peppa and George. Mummy Pig tucks him in and turns out the light. "Good night, little piggies," she whispers. Downstairs, Granny and Grandpa Pig arrive to have dinner with Mummy and Daddy Pig. They all sit down to eat, but suddenly they hear noises coming from upstairs. "Is that Peppa and George?" asks Grandpa Pig. Looks like the little piggies aren't sleeping after all. Mummy Pig goes upstairs to check on Peppa and George. They are wide awake. "Peppa, George, quickly now, hop into bed," says Mummy Pig. "You're making lots of noise and it's too late for you to be up." "We aren't sleepy yet," says Peppa.
Oh no!
"Will you tell us a story?" asked Peppa. "We promised to go to sleep after a story." "All right," says Mummy Pig. "Once upon a time, there was a princess." Peppa jumps in. "Oh yes," says Mummy Pig. "Once upon a time there was a courageous princess named Peppa.
Wow.
She lived in a castle with Sir George the brave knight. And the princess and the knight had a cook who made the most delicious food ever," adds Peppa. "Of course," says Mummy Pig. "She made cupcakes and cookies." "Cherry jelly tower," says Peppa. "That was the princess's favourite food. The princess and the knight invited their friend Pedro Pony and they ate all the yummy desserts." "Yes," said Mummy Pig. "And afterward everyone was so full they fell right asleep the end." "Then they woke up," cries Peppa, "and they invited a wizard to the castle." "A wizard?" asked Mummy Pig. "Yes," says Peppa. "And he did a big magic show, but then all of a sudden a big green dragon came to the castle." Peppa continues. Laughs George. "Arr!" "Oh no," says Mummy Pig. "How scary." "The dragon wasn't scary," says Peppa. "He was just very, very hungry. So the king came and ordered the cook to make a picnic," says Peppa. "He did?" Mummy Pig asks with a yawn. "Yes," says Peppa. "The cook, the wizard, the princess, the knight, the king, Pedro Pony and the dragon sat down to a big feast. And then they went to sleep," murmurs Mummy Pig as her head drops to one side. "No," says Peppa. "They had a party. The princess arrived to the party in a beautiful carriage," says Peppa.
Wow.
"She came with her friend Susie Sheep. Sir George pulled the carriage with his horse. All of their friends came to the castle to dance. There was Rebecca Rabbit and Pedro Pony and Danny Dog." Downstairs, Daddy Pig, Granny Pig and Grandpa Pig are wondering what is taking Mummy Pig so long. "Maybe we should see what's going on upstairs," says Daddy Pig. "I think I hear snoring," says Granny Pig. "Mummy Pig must have finally gotten Peppa and George to fall asleep." "But Peppa and George are not snoring. Mummy Pig is." "It looks like Princess Peppa is the best at telling bedtime stories," says Daddy Pig. The end. Peppa Pig. Read it yourself. Recycling Fun. Mummy Pig, Peppa Pig, George, car, Daddy Pig, truck, Mr. Bull, newspapers, cans, bottles, Miss Rabbit. Mr. Bull is collecting the rubbish. Mr. Bull puts the rubbish in the back of his truck.
Wow!
Peppa George and Mummy Pig are collecting rubbish too. They collect bottles, cans, and newspapers. We can recycle much of this rubbish, says Mummy Pig. They put the rubbish in the car. Mummy Pig has all the bottles. Peppa has all the cans. George has all the newspapers. Miss Rabbit is recycling rubbish too. She is recycling cars. Daddy Pig recycles the bottles. Mummy Pig and Peppa recycle the cans. I like this, Peppa says. George recycles the newspapers. Oh no! Miss Rabbit is recycling Daddy Pig's car. Stop! Says Daddy Pig. Stop! That's not recycling. This is our car. Oh, says Miss Rabbit. I like recycling too much. Our car is not rubbish, says Daddy Pig. No, says Peppa. We like our car. The end. Peppa Pig rock pools. Peppa and George are at the seaside with Granny and Grandpa Pig. Where has the sand gone? asked Peppa. Peppa and George love making sandcastles. There aren't any sand on this beach, says Granny Pig. Peppa is sad. George begins to cry. Now, children, don't be upset, says Granny Pig. There are lots of exciting things to do on this rocky beach. Grandpa Pig explains that when the sea goes out, little pools of water are left amongst the rocks.
Wow!
They're called rock pools, says Granny Pig. In every rock pool, there is something special that the sea has left behind, says Grandpa Pig. Peppa spots something glittering in a nearby rock pool. Peppa puts her hand in the rock pool and pulls out a shiny coin. Maybe it's a pirate's treasure, suggests Grandpa Pig. Let's make a collection of all the things we find, says Granny Pig. There's nothing special in this one, says Peppa, standing by another rock pool. Grandpa Pig dips his hand into the rock pool, and a crab pinches his finger. Ouch! Shouts Grandpa Pig. The crab lets go. Naughty Mr. Crab, says Peppa. The crab clacks its pincers and walks sideways into the rock pool. Peppa and George pretend to be crabs. They walk sideways and snap their fingers together. Peppa and George chase Grandpa Pig. Pinch, pinch, they cry. There are 2 naughty crabs trying to pinch me, says Grandpa Pig. Go back to your little rock pools. Yes, says Peppa. Let's look in more rock pools. In the next rock pool, Peppa finds a shell.
Wow.
Can you hear the sea in it? asks Granny Pig. Peppa holds the shell to her ear. She can hear a sound like waves. I love my seashell, says Peppa. George picks up a rock with a spiral pattern inside it.
Wow.
George has found a fossil, explains Grandpa Pig. A fossil is the remains of an animal that lived long ago when there were dinosaurs. Dinosaur, shouts George. Grandpa Pig finds a little fish trapped in the next rock pool. The little fish says she wants to go back to the sea, says Peppa. Peppa uses her bucket to rescue the little fish. Don't worry, Mrs. Fish, says Peppa. You'll soon be back with your friends. Peppa carries the bucket to the sea, and the fish leaps happily into the water with a big splash. I love rock pools, cheers Peppa. Everyone loves rock pools. The end.